Welcome to ASYCUDA, the automated system for customs data created 40 years ago by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, to improve customs clearance processes and facilitate trade in developing and middle-income countries.
ASYCUDA reduces time and cost to traders to engage in international trade. It increases government revenues, and ASYCUDA enhances the competitiveness of countries, and in fact, it contributes to the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals. ASYCUDA creates a level playing field in international trade for least developed countries, for landlocked developing countries, and for small island developing states.
Barbados has been using ASYCUDA since the 1990s, assisting government efforts to reform and modernize the Customs and Excise Department. Barbados has been using the fourth generation of the system, ASYCUDA World, since September 2019, bringing together all stakeholders in a fully automated environment.
So you're talking about submitting a hard copy to the Customs Department for processing. And the outcome of that would be having numerous entries within the organization, buildings. So you would have had corridors being blocked with boxes of documents. So that was a big issue for us. ASYCUDA will solve that by creating a paperless environment where now, instead of having to present paper entries to customs, officers can now access the system and through the database that is in ASYCUDA be able to access all of those entries.
With regards to risk management, we have been able to see a change in behavior of the importers. We would have worked with them if we have found cases of non-compliant behavior, and we would have introduced, from ASYCUDA World, we are able to pull an infraction list, and that infraction list speaks to the behavior of the importers in customs. Once we have analyzed that information, we then can work hand in hand in looking at all those areas where the importers tend to fall short to make sure now that they are playing an active role within customs in terms of compliance. If you're compliant, therefore you don't have to wait, your goods are released in a timely manner. Additionally, the clearance of goods has been increased tremendously. Everything is done online. A broker now can stay within his home, at the beach, and his office, and all processes are done online.
The system being a web-based system, it allows 24/7 access to brokers and importers. As such, once there is a proper internet system, the entries can be lodged within the system anywhere in the world at any time, and that is something that never happened before. There is real-time information that can be had. You can go into the system and you can see the revenue that has been paid in for the day. You can see the number of entries that have been generated, the number of releases that has been done. Even within the pandemic, we were able to release goods that were of primary importance, and we delivered those.
Operations at the Bridgetown port have also been positively impacted by ASYCUDA. The improved flow of information between the Barbados Port Inc. and Customs has increased efficiency at the port.
The Port of Bridgetown is a multi-user facility. We host many vessels. So ASYCUDA is a tool that has really helped us as a port to ensure the prompt delivery of cargo once all documentation has been uploaded from the customs brokers and indeed the importers or exporters, to ensure that they have cleared all duties and taxes as relates to customs. We can then deliver that cargo. So after the use of ASYCUDA, one found that many business places can now sit comfortably in their office and submit from their desk all the necessary documentation uploaded electronically into a system which was now faster, more accurate, and can give that necessary release for the delivery of cargo in a much shorter pace of time. So albeit COVID brought with it its problems, it also brought challenges that we were able to get over and make our systems a lot more efficient, digitized now to ensure that there is that social distancing, but indeed our actual processes of delivering cargo were now purely computerized. SYDONIA brought home the need for high levels of customer service. We were able to provide that level of customer service that everybody wants.
Cargo carriers, customs brokers, and other major stakeholders have 24/7 access to the system. The embedded risk management tools help customs use intelligence-based selection criteria to identify shipments that need physical inspection.
We see ourselves as the voice of business in Barbados. When the comptroller and his team introduced the SYDONIA world to the business community, we understood that it was not based upon any arbitrary type of decision making, but one that was based upon risk management. It provides a seamless way for us to interact with the Customs and Excise Department, because what determines the length of time in processing your entries basically is your level of risk. And therefore, if you are transparent and open, as most businesses in Barbados are with the Customs Department, then there are no hassles. And we gladly embraced it because we saw it as an opportunity to increase our ease of doing business. The clearance process can be almost as soon as the ship arrives or as soon as the airplane arrives. During the COVID period that we're in, SYDONIA has assisted us to the extent that we can have clearance done far more swiftly.
Barbados hosted the 15th session of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD 15.
UNCTAD 15 theme is moving from inequality and vulnerability to prosperity for all. And that's exactly what SYDONIA is doing. It brings sophisticated digital technologies to the most vulnerable and the poorest countries of the world. And it creates an enabling environment for small and medium enterprises to engage in international trade. And by doing that, we are creating prosperity.
During UNCTAD 15, Barbados signed an agreement with UNCTAD to further facilitate trade through the implementation of an electronic single-window system.
The electronic single window is a project that has been spoken about for some time. The business community is anxiously awaiting it.
With the implementation of the electronic single window, it is a critical support to SYDONIA world and the trading environment.
The upcoming electronic single window is going to be able to deliver a number of benefits to this country. And it does so by way of expediting the ability of business people to move their imports and their exports into the country and out of the country. There are 28 government departments, some of which you would never conceive to be relevant. But these are contact points where you have to go through regulatory hurdles or administrative barriers. So we've come to the point now where we have an electronic single window, which is a space that an importer, irrespective of what you're importing, you plug into this space, and it is there then that you're able to interface with all the government departments, and they in turn with you. All of the forms and so on are moved electronically from department to department. All of the approvals that need to be done in terms of satisfying the regulatory requirements, they are done at every stage, and they can be done in real time. It is anticipated that in some instances, what has been as much as a few months or a couple months to satisfy all of that requirement can now be done in a couple days. And that is really the magic of this.
The public will be able to see a much better streamlined process with respect to not just bringing in stuff, but when we were talking about exporting now, that the ability now to export is actually much easier, less cost, because then you don't have to be running here, there to these departments. I believe that the implementation of SYDONIA world, the collaboration of UNCTAD, has transformed Barbados economy.
We live in challenging times, with countries working to overcome the fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic, natural disasters, and other obstacles. Despite these challenges, the ASYCUDA system has demonstrated its adaptability and continues to contribute significantly to the countries where it is used, including Barbados. UNCTAD is proud of what ASYCUDA has achieved thus far and is driven to continuously improve it so that it can further help to increase prosperity for the countries and territories that use it, and by doing so, accelerate progress towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.